to go. It is a long, windy road to winning a world championship, and there are going to be bumps along the way. There are going to be surprises along the way. But every single person needs to raise their hand and say the thing they didn't see coming was Cam Schlittler writing his name down in the record books, in the pantheon of Yankee history, with an absolute dominant start. And not one of those dominant starts for 2025. Like, hey, it was 5 scoreless. This was a dominant start in 1968. This was a dominant start in 1998. And I thought of you last night, Tiki, because you have said when it comes to sports, you love watching greatness.
Yes.
And this kid, for one night in a winner-take-all game, provided the kind of greatness you don't normally see.
Why are you selling him short, Evan?
What? What'd I say?
Making Yankee history is what you said. He's making MLB history. Postseason game, 8+ innings, 12 strikeouts, 0 walks, 0 runs. Nobody else other than Cam Schlittler has done that. I mean, I love watching greatness, and that was an all-time great performance. You felt him in complete control from start to finish.
Yes.
Even when he gave up a hit, all right, whatever. Next. I get the next guy. He was dominant in a way that I don't think anybody could have expected. And also, because I heard BT and Sal talking about Aaron Boone, or at least the callers also talking about Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone's, he's still doing strikes. Leave him in there.
Yeah.
Is exactly what you want your manager to do when a kid is dealing. As I said with Max Friese, let your guy, your dog, prove that he's great.
Well, here's the difference, okay? Because I'm watching this game, and I'm marveling at my scorecard as I'm watching this game. And I give you the one geeky stat.
Only you, Evan.
Well, I'm marveling at Cam Schlittler. Like, we're all marveling at Schlittler's dominance last night. It's just different aspects of it. I'll give you the geekiest thing I was marveling at. 1 3-ball count. So when you talk about not walking somebody, that's great. That's amazing over 8 innings. He didn't even come close to walking anybody.
How many started 0-2? It was
constantly. He pounded and pounded the strike zone. But as I'm watching this game, because what I was fearful of, if you listened to this show yesterday, and we were on for 5.5 long hours, and a lot of our show was on Boone's handling of Schlittler, trying to play along and how this game is going to go. And I was very fearful, as I mentioned on the air yesterday, that he's going to have a quick hook. It's an elimination game.
Yep.
First sign of trouble. And I didn't think he should. I think he needed to allow Cam to have a regular start. Cam Schlittler, other than, I guess, the 5th inning with 2 on and 2 out and Durant coming up, other than that, there was never even a moment to consider, oh, boy, I may have to get the bullpen warmed up. Like, he made it easy for Aaron Boone to do what great managers do, which is sit your ass in the dugout and let greatness cook. And after he finished the 7th inning, barely breaking a sweat with a pitch count of 100, I screamed at the TV. I even texted you guys and said, you let him pitch the 8th inning. I wasn't sure Boone was going to do it. He did. And even after the 8th inning was done, in which he also barely broke a sweat, like 7 pitches, I thought the same thing. Because when we argued about Max Fried and argued about Carlos Rodon, remember where I was coming from. It's all about what I'm seeing. I thought Fried was done, right or wrong. I thought Rodon was done. There was no sign at all that this beast was even close to being done. So my only somewhat critique is I wouldn't have even taken him out.
Give him a complete game?
Absolutely. I got a 4-run lead. I'm not messing around. I don't trust anybody but this kid. But that's how utterly brilliant he was last night.
Right.
And you've heard a lot of words on this station all day with Keith, with Big Mac, the morning guys, the midday guys. Not enough words can be used to describe him. No. That's what kind of performance we witnessed last night.
It was one-of-one performance. You haven't seen it before. Again, 12 strikeouts, 8+ innings, no runs, no walks. Nobody has ever, not just a rookie, ever done that in the postseason. That is unbelievable for Cam Schlittler. And, you know, the thing that you now know is that he can do it. It's like that thing that we were talking about yesterday. Once you do something, it's like when Brooklyn was trying to do a full, like a round-off backhand spring full. It's this crazy stunt. At 10 years old, she's trying to do this. She's like, I can't do it. And then she did it. And in my mind, I was like, all right, now you got it.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what if I can't do it again? I was like, you already know you can do it.
Right.
You can't unknow what you already know.
Right.
We know that Cam Schlittler is the man. And at some point, this kid becomes the ace. Now, it's not going to be anytime soon because there's already 3 here, technically, if you want to count Rodon. But let's say 2 because Garrett Cole and Max Fried. The Yankees' rotation for the future is stupid. It is the envy. It should be the envy of any Major League Baseball team because of how it just kind of happened to come together.
Yeah, no question. And Schlitler will get another postseason start. He is now in line to pitch Game 4 at Yankee Stadium, unless the Yankee sweeper gets swept, which I don't think is the case. But we'll go deeper into the newest rival, the first ever postseason series between the Yankees and the Blue Jays a little bit later on. The other thing that's really important when looking at this 3-game series and how the Yankees won, they scored 9 runs. Mm-hmm. And if I told you it's going to be a 3-game series against the Red Sox and they're going to score 9 combined runs, there's a pretty good chance that you, Sean, and most Yankee fans would say, typical crap. That's not enough runs. Is that a fair statement, Sean?
Definitely
okay.
A fair statement.
The Yankees didn't score a ton of runs. They didn't hit a ton of home runs. But let's go over what they did do. And this was the difference between losing a series to the Red Sox and winning a series to the Red Sox. And boy, the irony. And boy, the reversal in fortunes. The New York Yankees, and I'm not going to start by ripping the Red Sox. I've already made it clear what I think of them, and it doesn't matter. They're the opponent in the Yankees' way. The New York Yankees didn't fumble the baseball. They didn't drop the ball, no pun intended. Now, were they perfect? No. Ben Rice dropped a pop-up in the first inning, which I thought was another great sign from Cam Schlittler that he ignored it and struck out Bregman anyway.
That's all right. I need another K.
Yeah. Think about that. He helped him make history.
Exactly right.
Obviously, Rodon had a throwing error in Game 2. Outside of that, and I circle back to Anthony Volpe in the 6th inning, this entire game changes after Jazz Chisholm makes a bad throw to Volpe at second base trying to turn a double play, and Volpe makes a great scoop. That's the difference between the Yankees and the Red Sox in this 3-game series.
100%.
Volpe makes the play. Okay, 1 out, 1 on. No big deal. He doesn't make the play. 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Right.
The Red Sox, on the other hand, they missed a lot. Whether it's Rafaela and the confusion on the little bloop double by Cody Bellinger that started the 4th inning, whether it's the base running mistake from Game 2, whether it's Duran not catching the Judge line drive. And by the way, Yankee fans, don't apologize. No one's asking you to. This is a compliment. I don't want anyone to be sensitive about this. You lost last year because all the crap I'm describing went the other way. This year, at least in this series, you handled the baseball. They didn't. And that's going to be the difference in low, close games in the postseason. So give the Yankees credit, especially after all the loudmouths around here and around this city bash this team all year long. I can't handle baseball. They're going to lose on an error. They can't defend.
They didn't.
They didn't.
Well, fortunately, they did handle the baseball. And I got to tell you, just from a public interest, personal interest standpoint, the Anthony Volpe roller coaster this year is one of the more compelling stories of this season so far. We'll see how it continues in the divisional series and hopefully farther. But people were fed up with him.
Yeah.
Send him down. He can't play.
Yeah.
Caballero is a better option, not just for right now, but for the postseason. You can't trust the kid. Yet, I think what he's proven is that he is a gamer. He's a big lighter. It's just like Jazz Chisholm. We talk about he sees the bright lights of the postseason and he gets excited about it. Anthony Volpe is that. And maybe it's because he's healthy and there's so many other things that can go into this. But you just talked about that scoop that he made on Jazz's bad throw.
Huge play. Not
only that, did you see where the ball was?
Yeah.
That ball was coming out of his glove.
Yeah.
And he held it. Right? If he loses his left mitt, I don't know, 12%, that ball falls out and everybody's safe. And he gripped it and got the big out, and he's been gaming all postseason long so far in these 3 games with his glove, which is something we couldn't necessarily have counted on in the regular season. So I credit Anthony Volpe.
Absolutely.
Because he was getting crapped on for a lot of this season.
And a lot of it was deservedly so.
Of course it was.
But he is playing really good baseball. And maybe, just maybe, the Yankees aren't a bad team, Buck Martinez.
The Yankees, they're not a good team.
Oh, they're not a good team. I guess we'll find out tomorrow at 4 o'clock if they're not a good team.
The Yankees, they're not a good team.
You're going to hear a lot of that over the next 5 days because sometimes we put words into the atmosphere.
Right.
And they come back and they haunt you.
The Yankees, they're not a good team.
No, they stink. They're terrible. But they made the plays. And this is the secret, little secret sauce of postseason baseball. If you can get really good starting pitching, check, because look at the 3 starts in this series, and you can defend, it's called run prevention. Have you heard about it? If you can prevent runs from being scored, you can win without scoring a crooked amount of runs. So even though the Yankees only scored 9 runs, and look at how they scored the runs in the 4th inning. Another little thing, put the bat on the ball and good things happen. That's another sign of life. I don't want to hear about how hard each ball was hit. You hit the baseball, good things happen. Nathaniel Lowe can't make a play. Too bad.
All right.
Too bad.
Right.
You can have that happen when you hit the ball.
Right. That was an easy one. He booted it.
Not my problem.
Exactly.
Not your problem.
Take advantage.
I thought the 4th inning, in a lot of ways, I don't call it lucky. I call it, that's what good teams do. You put the bat on the ball, and sometimes you force the opponent to screw up. And that's what happened, and the Yankees took advantage of it, and they got tested. You're down 0-1, your backs are to the wall, you blow 2 leads in Game 2. They responded. And so if you're a Yankee fan on this Friday afternoon, I understand there's that pivot moment that we have to do very quickly on focusing on Toronto, but you should be ecstatic for more than just Schlittler's dominance, but the fact the Yankees did to the Red Sox what the Dodgers did to you last year in the World Series.
Right. Yeah, right. And look, it's only the wild card series, and it's great to advance, and you get soaked with champagne and beer, whatever the heck they were throwing around in the clubhouse. But it is advancing. And if it would have been the other way around, meaning they lost that game, it would have been the vitriol would have not even gotten close to exceeding the elation that people feel. Like, this is tame compared to what would have happened if they had lost.
Absolutely, and I think rightfully so, because we look at the Red Sox, at this state of the Boston Red Sox, and say, they're a nice little team.
Yes.
They're not the New York Yankees. The Yankees are a better team. And I think the other thing that's at work here, and Sean, you could speak on this certainly better than Tiki and I, it's cathartic to finally beat them.
Definitely.
Like, as bad as they, or as mediocre as I think they are, it's kind of irrelevant. They wear the jersey. Jared Carrabis is still one of their fans.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter if they're good, great, mediocre, or not. To beat the Red Sox in a playoff series for the first time since we know when has to be like a cathartic feeling as a Yankee fan.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And for anybody that, let's just pick the age 30 years or younger, when you think about when you really can focus in and understand what's going on in sports, you've known nothing but Yankee eliminations to the Red Sox. That is a generation of fans that many of us who have gotten a little older forget exist. So to have that happen and have that first moment happen since that Aaron Boone home run in 2003, yeah. I don't think it's hyperbole. There won't be any banners hung. It's still a wild card series. What happened with Schlitler was unbelievable. But yesterday has the potential, and this week has the potential to be, to a certain extent, franchise-altering for the New York Yankees. They exercise serious demons versus an arch rival and a manager over there that had always basically dog-walked Aaron Boone, and Aaron Boone dog-walked him back, thank you, Aaron Boone, to a third baseman they signed that many of us were hesitant on. Do we want him? Do we want him? We got our comeuppance on him after his whole Astro garbage. That was cathartic, and that is something that if this train keeps rolling, we will look back. Clean baseball played versus the Boston Red Sox, dominant starting pitching. Oh, my God, does this feel like when I was young again? That is an unbelievable feeling. I can't believe the pep in the step I have, and I've been Mr. Negative for a week. I'm sorry, Yankee fans. I'm all in. Let's freaking go. F you, Red Sox.
Coming up a little bit later on, some have said Evan's new middle name should be Receipts, because I collect a lot of receipts.
I'm tearing them all up today, Ev.
And coming up at about 3 o'clock, there's a lot of receipts, Tiki Barber, that I'd like to cash in today.
All right.
Some of them will stun you, some of which will stun Sean, because he won't see it coming. But Yankee fans, let's hear from you. We'll get to your calls next, 888-808-1019 on what happened last night. And certainly, we begin the process of looking ahead to a best-of-5 series against the Toronto Blue Jays. So your calls next. Plus, Cam Schlittler not only dominated the Red Sox, but after the game, he became a Yankee legend.